When I'm working with an athlete that plays multiple sports, they're a better athlete than the kid that is just a soccer junkie.
All sorts of research on long-term athlete development and early sports specialization versus a multilateral approach. Multilateral meaning like sampling other sports and doing other things. The best athletes in the world at a lot of different sports, the ones that were at the top, put more hours into other sports before age 14 than the people that were second tier. Whatever you're doing with Aiden Hutchinson, I want you to do that with my kid too. Well,
He's coming off an injury.
your kid's not that. Yeah, like, so we're gonna start somewhere else.
Exactly.
You know, there's a different starting point for everybody, and I think a lot of people don't understand that starting point can be.
I hate soccer.
It was Mike.
I can hear you through here.
Yep. it was Mike and it was Jamie.
Yeah.
And then it was me for 2 years. And then I went to Vardar and
Oh, you were at UAD first.
yes, because I was
Wow.
do you remember Matt Pokovitz? He also played at U of D.
Yeah.
So I came up coaching under Matt Pokovitz in a small club in Lake Orion, the Lobos.
I remember the name.
So, yep, and small world with U of D and everything.
So, were you there when Nick Wilson was there?
Nope.
What years were you there again?
2010 and 2011.
Nick would have been the strength coach. Maybe you didn't.
I don't
It
know.
doesn't matter.
Nick Darren was on the men's side.
Nick Darren. I coached Nick Darren when he was in college,
Yeah?
and his wife.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Small world.
Really small world.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think we're all rolling. And, I mean, again, this is just a conversation.
All right.
Just but I sat in for a little bit, and you were talking about just burnout and specialization at the young ages.
Yeah.
It's like, and I love what you said about it's kind of our fault. It's the adults in the room that have kind of taken the game.
We did it. We caused the problem.
Right. And real quick background on you. What are the ages that you are working with right now? Because I know you got some NFL guys.
Yep.
But what's the youngest that you go with?
I mean, the youngest that we even start kids in our facility is 8.
Okay.
So we have like a program for 8 to 11-year-olds, 11 to 13. So all those stages of development that I was
Right.
kind of hitting on in my presentation, we have different programs for those different times because they have such different needs.
Right.
And then 14 and up, and then we do like our college and pro people in a separate group because they also have different needs.
Right. How do you educate parents that are 8, or parents of an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old, to just prevent what ends up happening at 14, 15, 16 of, is it fun anymore for them? Do they enjoy the game?
That's kind of the hardest part, because what's crazy is those parents often don't know that it might happen.
Right.
So they just think they're doing what's best for the kid.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's their first kid, they most of the time have no idea, and they're trying to do what's best for their kid and what they think their kid likes, and but they don't always know if is this the best soccer coach in the area? Is this the best program?
Right.
Is this the best sports performance play? They don't know.
Right.
So they just go off the recommendations of friends or coaches or
Right.
whoever's close by, or they see an advertisement. They don't know, and that's really hard. So I mean, I guess for me, I try to get out and talk to people and communicate, put out newsletters, do this kind of stuff. But what's hard is when I was a college coach, I could say all those things and people would take it as, well, he's telling us this. When you're running a business alongside of it, or if you're running a club, or you've got something that people would end up spending money on,
Yeah.
some people look at it like, oh, you're trying to sell something.
Right.
So you have that side where you have to just be like, I don't even want you to train with me right now. Just here's what's going to be happening, and here's what to think about, and here's
Right.
what to look for. Because there's some crazy stuff going on
Yeah.
in it's not just soccer either. It's all sports. It's becoming really professionalized and pushed really early.
Did that start when all coaches were full-time coaches? Do you think that's when it kind of started? When it wasn't a side gig anymore?
It's a business.
When
now.
we weren't all teachers and then we coached in the afternoons?
That's part of it, yeah, for sure. And then, I mean, don't get me wrong, like I love the club soccer scene.
So do I.
It's fantastic, but it's really only right for certain people, for certain kids, and there's a lot of kids that they don't maybe need club soccer. Like playing on the rec team is probably all they need. Like you may not make your high school team, so just have fun with it.
Right.
But they if you're a club coach, like why are you going to turn it down? Like, I mean, yeah, we can help you. Of course we can help you.
Exactly.
Come on in and do this. So I don't know. It's nothing against clubs. It's nothing against trainers. I don't know when it kind of all went wrong, but it was somewhere in the 90s, like that it got pretty different.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, we made fun of people, of our teammates on our soccer team that would go to like ODP.
Yeah.
Because it was like, oh,
well, you think you're going to... Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And on our basketball team, like, oh, you play AAU basketball.
Right.
Like now, that's what everybody does. Like, and if you don't, you're going to be behind.
See, you said that in there too, about worrying about being behind. I think that's what's leading to the burnout, because kids will have, okay, I'm in Buffalo, New York. Mm-hmm. One ECNL club, that is it. Okay. We don't have, it's not Southeast Michigan where there's Jags, there's Nationals, there's Hawks, there's Vardar and Liverpool and everything. So basically how it works is you have the Flash 3 days a week, then you have 1 or 2 supplemental technical trainers, that's what I do, mm-hmm. and then they also go to a fitness performance place, mm-hmm. that's what you do, and it's like, I almost have to turn, sometimes I get a player that I'm like, when was your last day off?
Yep.
And I had a girl in March, and she said that her last day off was Christmas Day.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That's how crazy this has gotten, because it's all about, I just had a conversation with a former colleague of mine. You know the D1 or bust mentality?
Yep.
Well, in the soccer world, it's the MLS Next or the ECNL or bust mentality.
Yep.
And so these kids are specializing way earlier, mm-hmm. because
they have to. Yeah.
So how do we educate that? Because I feel like I'm going to rip on soccer right now, and I love soccer, even though it's called I Hate Soccer. But when I'm working with an athlete that plays multiple sports, they're a better athlete than the kid that is just a soccer junkie. Do you see that at all?
Yeah.
Do you see that in other sports too? That like maybe the soccer player that also maybe plays baseball, it might be a better athlete than the basketball player that only plays basketball?
I mean, that's what I was just talking about.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of research on long-term athlete development and early sports specialization versus a multilateral approach. Multilateral meaning like sampling other sports and doing other things.
Yeah.
And one of my slides was about this study that was done a few years ago that showed the best athletes in the world at a lot of different sports. They did this huge longitudinal study, and the ones that were at the top put more hours into other sports before age 14 than the people that were second tier.
Right.
And it wasn't that they put more time in their sport. It was they put more time in other sports, kind of built that foundation, didn't get burned out, had a higher ceiling, and then they were able to get better. And I think a lot of times we feel like we have to microwave the process and do it as fast as we can.
Oh my gosh.
Because the kid has to be good this weekend.
Yes.
And I don't blame the coaches either. I mean, the coaches are oftentimes under this pressure that, like, if we don't win this if we don't win the next couple games, we're going to start looking at other clubs.
Yeah.
I mean, so I get it. Like, so the pressure is not just on the kids. Pressure's on these coaches. They have to win, or what are we doing here? There's all this questioning, and it's a lot.
About your microwaving, have you ever had somebody come in that was recommended to you by somebody that you've been working with for 5 years? They give you a month or two, and they're like, well, I'm not as good as, or my daughter's not as good as who you've been working with for 5 years. It's like, do you think this happens overnight? Do you think that this is going to only happen in 5 sessions?
People do.
How do you fight
people
that?
Do. It's education and
transparency,
honesty. You've got to be honest. You got to be upfront. You got to tell people like this is going to take time, and just because they're training the same way as this other kid doesn't mean they're going to get the same results either, because people have different genetics, people have different levels of effort, they have different starting points. We're not robots.
Right.
It's not input output is going to be the same all the time. And a few times I've also had parents when we've gone over, say, results, and we do a lot of physical testing because that's what we do. So,
of course.
Like, are you jumping higher? Are you running faster? Are you moving quicker? That kind of stuff. And we'll say run a 40-yard dash, which is just, everybody knows what a 40 is, but it's just a test that we do because it's a test. And they'll have taken off 0.2 of a second off of a 40 in, say, 6 to 8 weeks. And if you know anything about sports performance, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But parents will be like, 0.2 of a second? That's like nothing. And it's like, what? Wait a minute. Like, I was super excited about this. Like what'd you think it was going to happen?
Right.
So I think that there's unrealistic expectations that we have to help people with, and help guide them through the whole process.
Right.
That it's not just this week. It's not just this month or season. Like you're gonna need to train. You're gonna go play a season, and then you're gonna want to come back.
Yeah.
And do some more, and then go play another season. Like, this is part of a process, not just a quick fix.
Right. It's a stairway, not an escalator. Where you're not skipping steps either. You can't. You could work with some NFL guys, and then a 13-year-old that you just started with is like, well, he can get you there. It's like, well, hold on.
Yeah.
That's another thing that we fight. Because somebody just committed to Nebraska that I work with, and it's like, well, that doesn't mean that you're going to go to Nebraska.
Yeah.
And
they also, I mean, you may say this too, people will see like, whatever you're doing with Aiden Hutchinson, I want you to do that with my kid too. Well,
Aiden's coming off an injury.
Your kid's not that. Yeah, so we're going to start somewhere else.
Exactly.
There's a different starting point for everybody, and I think a lot of people don't understand that starting point can be your age, but it can also be your maturity age. So there's a different, just because you're chronologically 10 years old, developmentally you might only be 8, or you could be like 13. Like, some kids at 10 look way older and they're bigger, and people are different. And then there's training age, like, well, have you done a lot of stuff?
Yes.
Where are you starting from? Or have you never done any of this and we're starting a little bit farther back? And you try to catch everybody up, but people respond differently.
We always talk to our parents about there's a difference between chronological age and soccer age. And that's why there's 10-year-olds that are better than some of our 13-year-olds.
Yep.
And that's just how it is.
Yep.
I caught you talking about Kobe Bryant in there. And I remember one of the last podcasts he did. If you're watching this, you're probably a soccer player, a soccer parent, or a soccer coach. For a player, are you making the right decisions of which club you're going to? Are you making the right decisions of which highlights to incorporate into your recruiting highlight reel? We can help you with that. And if you're a soccer parent, are you guys at the right club? How to approach a coach? What to email coaches? How to navigate the recruiting process? If you're a coach, are my sessions spot on? Are they age appropriate? How do I deal with parents? How do I deal with young kids that don't listen to me? We are having our confidence challenge. It is a 3-day or a 3-call one-on-one with me to help you navigate youth soccer. Join us for our August challenge. The link will be below this video. He was talking about the problems in youth basketball and that he called Michael Jordan. And he was upset with something that the coach was teaching his daughter. And he's like, hey, Mike, what were we doing when we were 12 years old? And Michael Jordan's like, I don't know. I was playing baseball.
Yep.
Boom. And that's what all these
and Kobe
folks...
was playing soccer.
Exactly. He was in Barcelona. You were talking about it.
Yeah.
And that's why he was a pretty good soccer player.
That's right.
But, I mean, everybody would be like, well, what about our best athletes playing soccer? I don't know a lot of 6'6" or 6'7", 240 soccer players.
But that's also cultural.
Yeah.
I would bet that if Mbappe grew up in America, he probably would have been drawn to
Football?
basketball or football.
Tyreek Hill kind of comp.
Yeah, I mean,
he's
he's super fast. He's lengthy. Like he could. I don't know. I mean, maybe not. You know, maybe he would have been drawn to it. His mom was a handball player.
Yeah, you said that.
And if he was in America, there's no way he would have tried handball because where do you play handball?
Do we have handball?
I mean, we do. But,
Some, yeah.
But yeah, like no kids are playing it.
Right.
I just think that there's cultural differences too.
I know we're pressed for time, but injury recovery, especially major injury recoveries, such as Aiden Hutchinson's or an ACL or an Achilles, or my nephew who's going to Eastern Michigan and play football, his shoulder. So what took me to Buffalo was coaching in the NWSL. I was a second assistant, and one of my roles was really any of the injured players would train with me for almost a full month before they were even thrown into contact. Because the philosophy under it was, okay, if you're coming off an injury, we want your setback, your mental setback to happen in training and not in an environment where it's contact or a game. Do you see any of that in other sports, or what's your knowledge on that?
You mean, do they have that same process?
Yeah,
it's a big deal.
Because what happens with our youth players is that they get the all clear from their doctor. I'm good. I'm going to play this Sunday.
They go right back.
What?
Yep. It's a huge mistake.
Thank you.
We have a program we call it ACL Bridge program, and it bridges the gap between when therapy's done and when they're ready for sport. And it's usually a 1 to 3 month gap.
Okay.
But they're clear, so they're done with physical therapy.
Yeah.
And the doctor's like, you're good. And then people that hear about our program, they'll come in and do an evaluation, and we'll think like, there's no way you could go out and do a soccer practice right now.
Right.
Like you haven't even sprinted yet.
Right.
You can't
cut. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you're gonna go out there deathly afraid of what to do, and because you're not ready, you might re-injure yourself or re-injure something else, or or be so bad like you suck now because you can't move. And you're going to be like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's terrible. So there's always that gap.
Yeah.
And I think colleges do a good job because they understand and they have more control.
Right.
But at a younger age, parents a lot of times they just defer to like, oh, the doctor said we're clear. So what do they know? They don't know unless they've gone through it or they have somebody that can give them some guidance. And
right.
I guess that's what we're here for.
Absolutely. And I had 2 players tear their ACLs almost identical. They went to the same PT. They didn't have the same surgeon or anything like that, but they had the same PT, and one was dangerously behind. Where is that just because of their general makeup and their individual bodies, or is it just because maybe something was too fast or too slow or...
Yeah, I mean, the surgery could have something to do with it.
Yeah.
Their process, like their response to it.
Yeah.
Sometimes if it's if the kid doesn't get the full flexion or extension of their knee back quick enough, it really slows things down, and there's a lot more pain. Kids will scar in different ways,
Yep.
and if there's too much scar tissue, it can slow things down. And I've seen kids have to go back in for second surgery just to remove some extra scar tissue, even though they didn't do anything wrong. That's just what happened, you know. People, like we said before, we're not robots. People respond differently to different things, and mentally, there's a big difference in the way people approach things. So some people have a real fear after an injury, and they do everything very tentatively.
Yes.
And so the progress is going to be a little slower.
Yep.
And other people, they're like,
We'll go right at it.
Okay, I haven't run, but you want me to run fast? Sure, they go run fast, and it's like, oh, you have no fear factor.
Right.
I see the fear factor in a lot of kids.
I feel like that process is also very lonely for the players. How can we as coaches help in that? Because they're going through something very personal, very alone, and they might not talk to a teammate.
Yep.
They might not talk to their youth coach. Their youth coach might not check in.
Oh yeah.
How do you try to build that relationship with your players and your athletes when they're going through something like that?
Well, again, kind of comes down to education. And I will oftentimes, when somebody comes to us for ACL rehab, I'll try to explain to them, like, the fun's about to begin again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're going to be an athlete again. Because now we can start, instead of you just like walking on a treadmill and getting your range of motion back, like, this is going to be fun. You're going to feel like an athlete. You're going to be around other people. You're going to start moving better. You can start going to practice again. And you can't do everything, but you can do some things on the side. I think that would be awesome, like, if kids could do something on the side. But I don't blame coaches. Like, if you don't know, like, how to rehab somebody's ACL, like, you don't want to be the person that's giving them things to do.
Exactly.
So that's touchy, and they need to have some guidance if they're going to do that. But I have seen several girls who will go to all the practices and games just to be part of the team, which I think is really cool.
Absolutely.
But if I was a parent, I'd be like, what are we doing?
Why are we driving an hour to practice when you're just going to sit there?
You're going to sit there, yeah. Like, I would do some of it, you know, but that would be tough.
Yeah.
That would be tough. So I think parents need to help kids understand that, like, this is going to be tough, but we're going to get through it, and we're going to let you do some things with your team and do some things that are fun for you.
Right.
And we're going to slowly get you back into what you have to be doing.
So when you were at University of Detroit, you were strength and conditioning coach?
Yeah.
And then when did you go into private practice?
That was 2002.
Oh, okay. Impact's been around that long?
Well, no. So inside of Total Sports Complex in Wixom, one of my former coaching friends that was coaching baseball lessons up there, I went up and met with him, and I had hired a consultant to do everything I was going to do. I thought I was just going to do it on my own, and he said, hey, before you do anything, they want to do something like this, so come and do it.
Right.
So they, instead of me doing it myself, they offered me the job to do it, which turned out great because they spent a lot of money on equipment and all this stuff, and I would have been bankrupt. I probably would have failed like within a year, and you know, so having their backing, I truly appreciate, and it took off, and it was fantastic. And then right before COVID, a hospital bought our program, and it was not a good fit. So I left during COVID and opened up Impact.
Got it.
So all the relationships have been here for 20 some years, but just the name changed to Impact about 5 years ago.
And you're in 2 locations?
3. So there's Novi, Brighton, like 45 minutes from here, and East Lansing.
East Lansing. What's your hub? East Lansing or Brighton?
Novi.
Really?
Novi is the main hub. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That was the first one?
That was the first one.
Excellent.
A lot of soccer. We're inside of a soccer building there also. But also football and lacrosse and hockey and volleyball.
Where were you trading Aiden Hutchinson at? Was that in the East Lansing?
No,
Was that
Novi.
the Lansing? That was the Novi location?
Yep.
So, last question. Strength and conditioning in college, and the preseason, and the summer packets, and everything. What are your thoughts? Because I feel like there's not as much sports performance in a lot of it.
A lot of the college strength and conditioning?
Yeah, the college strength and conditioning.
That's fair.
And there's not as much as technique or running technique and jumping technique and all the things that you guys work on.
Yeah.
So what is your opinion, or what do you tell your college athletes to do? Do you tell them to follow the packet, or do you have your own individual plan? Because sometimes you're probably training them more than the college strength and conditioning coach.
Yeah, so my philosophy forever has been, if you're at a school, like it could be a high school or a club or wherever you are, if they want you to do something, like you got to try to do that. And what we do is going to be in addition to, supplement, or what kind of work around. But the college stuff, I don't blame college coaches for not teaching sprinting mechanics and individualizing everything, because a lot of times, having been a college coach, there's too many people. You usually have groups. You have other responsibilities, so it's really hard to pull you aside and be like, okay, Jason, we're going to spend an hour 3 times a week working on your sprinting mechanics.
Exactly.
Because you can't do that with everybody.
No.
There's too many other things. That
And you
have to
probably have 2 teams that you're in charge of. You might be in charge of women's soccer and then men's basketball or something like that.
Yeah. So it's just a lot. Also, there's not a lot of education, or there wasn't a lot of education on teaching mechanics.
Yeah.
Which is actually why I wrote my first book, was on speed and agility technique.
Okay.
Like how to teach people how to run better. And no one was doing it. Now there's more. Like more people are out there on the internet doing that kind of stuff. But it's very individualized. It's a lot harder to do in large groups, so that's probably why they don't get it as much in college. But we'll incorporate kind of what they're doing, but we'll also do other things. So a lot of times there'll be a strength packet for the summer.
Yep.
And then it's just like a conditioning packet.
Yep.
And so if they have a conditioning test, we'll make sure they're ready for that test.
Yep.
If they say on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, do these agility drills. Well, if we're doing agility drills that are somewhat like that, because we have 6 people in a group and everybody, we can't do 6 different drills.
Right.
So as long as we're hitting what they need to hit, I feel like we're incorporating kind of what they're doing. But then other times I will see their packs and think this is a waste of your time. They're just trying to make sure you're not getting hurt and you're in some shape.
Yep.
When you get back,
and you come in fit,
which is fine if that's your goal. Just come in fit. We'll get you fit. We'll make sure you're fit, but you also need to work on X, Y, and Z, and we'll work on that. Make sure you're ready to go, and then you're good. But I'm not going to step on the toes of a strength coach.
I mean, I don't know how it is here these days, but in Buffalo, in Western New York, that industry, the sports performance industry, they are very territorial, and they undercut everybody else, and they talk bad about each other, and it's like, guys, we're all doing the exact same thing. We're all trying to just help athletes.
Yep.
And a lot of times we share athletes. Don't feel like you're the only person that a kid is going to.
100%. There is a lot of that posturing, and I don't even know what to say about that because you know what? It's true, and there are sports performance coaches just like technical trainers that are really good, and there are a lot of them that are really bad. And the issue is there's no licensing. I mean, I could go out right now and say, hey, I'm a soccer technical coach. If I can get people here and get them to pay, hey, I'm a technical trainer.
Yep.
And I might be the worst, but if I can sell, if I'm good on Instagram,
Yep.
if I have a personality and I can advertise, you can get people there.
Right.
So it can be horrible stuff going on,
Yeah.
or a waste of time.
Right.
But you can do it, and it's that's everywhere in sports now. But if if people are good, then you kind of got to leave them alone. But yeah, people step on each other's toes like crazy.
It is crazy. But thanks for taking the time.
Yeah,
I know
man.
you're going to Torch Lake?
Yeah, Torch Lake and Lake Michigan. I'm heading up. Yeah.
Do you golf at all?
I golf a little bit, but we're so it's a group of friends that get together every year in somewhere in America. We used to do our fantasy football draft live, but I don't think we're going to do it live. And my friend's hosting up north, and they already golfed on Thursday.
Gotcha.
And I think they went to the lake, but tomorrow we get to go to a lighthouse.
Okay.
That one of my friends formed a nonprofit and bought a lighthouse out on Lake Michigan, and we're going to go take a boat. And I think he's going to make us jump off of it.
Is everybody just all over the country too?
All over.
That's how all of my friend group is.
Yep.
Denver, California.
Yep.
It sucks. But as long as you make an effort to go and see everybody at least once a year,
Yep.
that's the key. But
Yeah, once a year, and then the rest of it's group chats and fantasy football, which is, at least you kind of stay in touch with people.
Yeah. I mean, do you always take the Lions defense or what?
If I can, but everybody else wants them to.
Exactly. But thank you so much.
Yeah,
and
this is awesome.
Thanks for your time.
Keep
Appreciate
it
it, man.
Keep hating soccer.
I learned so much from you. So
that's awesome.
I mean, thank you so much.
We got a lot of old connections too.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's really, really cool.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
I hate soccer.